the cloud. Recording in progress. Okay. All right. So here we go.
Hi, my name is Shelley,
And I'm Melissa.
and we want to welcome you to our new podcast. This would be our pre-podcast, Lightwaves. It's an expert dive into the fast-moving world of all things lighting with a side of design. Um, so we're excited about this new venture. Melissa, do you want to go into why we were doing this?
Sure. So Shelley and I are lighting reps. We're going to cover what that is in a minute, but we encounter lighting questions, lighting challenges every day. And lighting, the technology of lighting and what lighting can do in a space has changed so much since we started, which respectively, I believe is 28 years for me and around 25 years for Shelley. And we're both passionate about lighting. We feel like it's so important to design and just to function in life that it deserves a podcast. Right, Shelley?
I totally agree. And with the ever changing and with all the audiences out there learning about lighting, I think that we'll cover all subjects from indoor to outdoor to the scientific parts of it to just the trends of it. We'll have guests on, correct?
Yes, we're going to have some designers on and some experts in lighting restaurants, some showrooms that sell lighting and how that works. So
Right.
In addition to us just talking about lighting, we have a lot of topics that we want to talk about that we think will benefit consumers as well as the lighting designers and interior designers in the trade. So there's a lot of information. Even somebody on a weekend warrior can learn from this podcast.
Totally agree. Sometimes totally agree. But as lighting reps, I think it gives us a firsthand knowledge because we have so much audience. Agreed?
Agreed.
You know, as a lighting rep, if we were going to define what a lighting rep is, or my definition is that we represent a manufacturer or several manufacturers normally. And it is our role to make sure that people are updated, that the trends are updated, new product is updated, discontinued is updated, and what's going on out there and new technology as it comes out. You agree?
Right. And we also do a lot of training with our direct customer, which are usually lighting resellers. So they need a lot of knowledge to give to their clients, which can be consumers, interior designers, and the like. And that's a big part of what we do is talking, learning from our customers, giving knowledge to our customers. And in our travels, because we go to so many different places, we learn a lot about what's going on in our industry, what's going on with lighting, anything new. And, every day is a different day for us.
It really is a different day for us. So bringing that back around, what brought you into being a lighting rep? We say once you're in lighting, it's hard to you're in lighting. So
right, you can never get out. So what brought me into lighting is my father, so I'm a second generation lighting person. He was a manufacturer. He was the vice president of a manufacturing company in Los Angeles. And when he retired, he moved up to Northern California and became a lighting rep. And he got so busy, he needed some help. And I was entertaining going to law school after college. And he brought me in, and now it's 28 years later. So here I am. How about you? How did you get started? And how did you get into the world of, how did you get brought into the world of lighting?
I think it's funny because our stories are so similar. So I literally my father had an agency. He had one, and one of our companies had come out with some new up and outstanding technology, and they needed someone to kind of spearhead that. And I took that on. Then after 6 months, just fell in love with it because it's fun. It's interesting. I love learning. I love teaching. I love everyone that we deal with in this industry, from everyone from electricians on and up. So I just fell in love with it. And so since then, we've just been a team. So yes.
That's great. That's great. And what did you study in
Oh,
college?
that's right. So that's where it's also that we're like, so I studied journalism and political science. It's not really what I'm doing now to go to law school, but did not go to law school. But I have just learned so much from some of my mentors in this, and just love doing the lighting design part now.
Right, me too. I changed my major a million times in college, but I was an econ major and art history. So I had two majors. And I think art history maybe is slightly relevant because I know different genres, right? Historical genres, Victorian, Art Nouveau, Art Deco, modern, contemporary, mid-century. So that's a little bit applicable, but it's not what I thought I would be doing. But I think that's a lot of people's path. It's not what they thought they would be doing, but I love it too. I love all the people in our industry. I think we're like a family. It's not it started out not being a huge industry. It started out fairly small. It's gotten very large in scope and in reach because lighting is so important and so such an intrinsic part of design. It's become a lot bigger, but we also have a lighting family, and that's how you and I met each other and have become friends through our family. So it's definitely, we're all connected to each other in this industry, and I think that that's really special. So
Absolutely. So it's amazing because we're talking about being in this for 25 years, and I think this will contribute to the podcast, is going back and what has changed in 25 years from a role, from a being a lighting rep to technology and lighting, because
right.
it has changed immensely on both sides of it. So
That's right. That's right. And our world as a rep. So what is a lighting rep, Shelley? Let's hit that before we go any further.
So as a lighting representative, we are, I guess we have a contract, I guess we would say, for different lighting manufacturers. And usually these manufacturers, they come out with different trends. They are usually one season ahead. So it's our role to just make sure that our customers and end users and whoever we're speaking with that we call on for our lighting lines are aware of what's going out, the new trends, what we're seeing. For instance, now we're talking lifestyle a lot. So there's a lot changing. So it's not just a lighting fixture, but everything that's going forward. Kind of got stumbled there, but and then the technology is a big thing. We're learning that every single day.
Right. And technology is time consuming to convey that information. But it's really important that everybody understands how this works, so that people don't burn their houses down, and that when they we're going to talk about lighting systems too, and smart lighting. By the way, if you are watching this online, you can see neither one of us has great lighting. This is the life of a lighting rep, but we know how to light people's homes. We just don't know often how to light our own homes, which I think is par for the course in any industry, right? You're too close to it yourself in your own world, and so it's difficult to do your own lighting. But we do know a lot about lighting. We're experts in lighting, and we feel like we want to share that knowledge with everybody. And we have a lot of experience with different manufacturers and being their brand ambassador or their representative. So we touch a lot of different levels. Because we're in the middle, we have direct contact with people manufacturing lighting and importing lighting. We have direct contact with people who are reselling lighting, and we often have contact with people in between, the people who are designing the lighting, who are doing the floor plans. And we also end up talking to the consumer a lot of times when they need to troubleshoot. So we kind of touch every part of lighting, and so I think that gives us a unique perspective and a way of conveying this information that's different from a manufacturer or a lighting showroom or anybody else along the way. We're a little bit of a different perspective.
I totally agree. And there's so much that we will cover in this podcast. This being our pre-podcast, I believe that we will, I think I may have said this, not sure, everything from indoor lighting to exterior lighting to mood lighting, like you mentioned, to lifestyle lighting, scientifics of lighting, and then some educational basics in there.
Right.
Sometimes we have to build from the basics And I know that as well, you as well as me, there are some people that we call on that they're new to lighting, or they're a designer and they're doing everything, not just the lighting. They're
Right,
picking
right.
out so many aspects to a project that, you know, as a lighting expert, that's what we're there for. So as we know, we'll get into the basics of a light bulb.
Sure, that's going to be our first podcast, kind of our intro, because there's so much to cover just in light bulbs, from how it changes the design of the fixture to how it actually affects the way, you know, we look at lighting and the color of lighting and everything else. We're also going to cover landscape lighting and ceiling fans. Those are part of lighting that people often forget. But they're both very important aspects of lighting. So we have a lot of stuff to cover, and we're very excited about this venture, and we're excited to have you along for the ride.
We very much are. And as we were going through this podcast and as we evolve, we'd love to hear subjects that we may not be hitting on that you're interested in hitting on in the future. So we can explore that with you.
Right, that's right. And we love actually to see projects like before and after, and we love lighting fails, like things that go wrong with lighting. We have a ton of them ourselves, but we love to see that from our audience. So let us know what you think. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you're interested in learning about, and we're going to cover that.
And we'll look forward to talking to you on the next podcast.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Shelley. Thanks, everyone.